Welcome to Online PD for Google Sites. My name is Tiffany Underwood, and I'm going to take you through how to use Google Sites. Today, you're going to learn why Google Sites is a good option for online learning organization. And then we're also going to learn how to build your own Google site. Before we start talking about Google Sites, I wanted to tell you a little bit about me. Some of you may know me and some of you may not. I have taught in Greenup County for most of my career. I've taught in Jessamine County for half a semester and in Pike County for a year, and then moved back here where I'm actually from and have been 15 years in the same classroom down at McKell Elementary. I got my BA in education from UK. I got a master's of science degree in integrating technology into the classroom. And then I earned my national board certification for early and middle childhood literacy. I, on a personal level, have been married for 19 years to Zach, and we have 3 boys. Cohen is 14. He'll be a freshman this year. Camden is 10. He's going to be in the 5th grade. And Callan is 3 and thinks he's 16. So it is always crazy at my house for sure. Okay, so why Google Sites for online learning? Basically, there's 2 major positives when it comes to using Google Sites. The first is organization. It allows you to put links in a place that are visually appealing, especially to younger children. And it can be used as your central hub for all the places that you want your students to be able to access easily on the web. It's also very user-friendly. It's user-friendly for the teacher because it is super easy to build and create your own Google site. But in the same sense, it's also very user-friendly for students. Even my 3rd graders could navigate it really well. So I know some of you are kind of wondering, well, how is what you're saying any better or different than using Google Classroom? And I love Google Classroom. I still use Google Classroom quite often. But for younger kids especially, I feel like Google Classroom is not very visually appealing. It's not super easy to navigate for them. Most of the assignments in the post end up looking the same, and so it's hard for them to find exactly what it is that they need. So even though I would move, common links or common things up to the top of the list, I was having to do that quite often to help kids access and find easily what I needed. So instead, towards the end of NTI last year, basically I said something's got to give. We've got to make this easier for our young kids. And so we created a 3rd grade Google site where each of us had our own page that went with that. And we had put any link that we felt our kids needed quick access to. And they wouldn't have to go in to Google Classroom and go down and find the post where we have posted the link. So these are things that they would use frequently. So Edmentum, Flipgrid, Google Meet, Google Classroom, of course, Epic for reading, Renaissance to take their AR quizzes, and then our Scholastic News magazines resources we would also put on there. Okay, so now I'm going to show you just how easy it is to build your own Google site. And to get us started, I'm going to first show you our 3rd grade site that we used towards the end of NTI so you can kind of see a finished version. And then I will show you how to build one from scratch. So this Google site was created kind of out of necessity towards the end or the second half of NTI last year. And I created this homepage for our third grade group and a page for each of my wonderful colleagues. And then they took their page and made it. Okay. So here you can see we would post a PDF of with links inside it that show kids exactly what they could do for NTI. And week 7 and 8 was, some more review and just fun activities. And then here you can see here was 5 and 6. And so actually there's another PD that you can watch today if you're interested in learning about making one of these HyperDocs and Google Slides. That's basically just kind of like a little work calendar for the students so they can clearly see, okay, this is Monday for reading, this is what I need to do, and has the links right there, and same for math. And then also we posted the specials packets that were in there, so you can post those so that they could see what they were to do for those. And then at the bottom, we just used our Bitmojis for a little bit more fun way to get to our classroom. So if I click on my classroom, there's also a menu bar on the side that shows you they can click to get there easily as well. So here's mine. It's going to take a minute to load here, but there's pictures here that you can put of your classroom as well. That will kind of scroll through. You can click through and see. But here are the links that that we posted, so that, and they're not very pretty. I didn't use ones with clear backgrounds so that they were more pretty. But anyway, this was just kind of a quick fix that we did for NTI, like I said. So anyway, so this is kind of what it looks like, and it's so easy to build. So I'm going to show you how to build one now. So in order to get started building your own Google site, you need to go to sites.google.com, and you need to make sure that you have that /new. There's an older Google Sites, and I don't recommend that you use that. I recommend that you use the new one. If you just went to sites.google.com, it would prompt you to go to the new Google Sites, and so you could get there that way as well. Okay, so when you open up the new Google Sites page, you'll see it looks very similar when you open up a Google Docs or a Google Slides or a Google Sheets. It's going to have the menu bar that shows you can do a blank site from scratch, or you can choose one of the many templates that they have, and there's actually more that you can search for. And if you like a template, then basically you are just customizing it to make it your own. For today, I want to use a blank site so that you can see how to build it from scratch. So I'm going to click on our blank site, and it's going to open up kind of a generic blank canvas for us to use and make our own. So the first thing that always pops up is this page title. It's your header. And so that's what you want to start with. And you can title it whatever you want. If you're making a page for your grade level, you can put welcome to third grade. If you are doing your own individual page, then obviously you can put your name or whatever title you want your page to be. There's some ways to change your header, and that's here with header type. It pops up, and you can choose to do like an entire cover. If you want the first thing for them to see when they get on your webpage is your entire name of your webpage across the entire screen, you can use this. If you use a large banner, Um, Again, it's just a very big, wide banner for them to see the title of your site. And I like the normal banner. To me, it's still a little larger than I would like for it to be, but that's usually the one that I go with. And then you can also choose just to do a title only, where the title will just be at the top and it won't be separated necessarily from the rest of your page. So I'm going to go back and click on banner, and I'm going to type in welcome to third grade. And that's going to be the title of my site. And I can also put over here third grade site as my title. And once I do that, it's going to change my file name up here as well. So the next thing that I need to decide is about my pages. How many pages do I want them to be able to click and get to off of my homepage here? And so, again, you have to think of the purpose of your site. If you are making a site with a team, like maybe the third grade team, the 4 teachers that teach their grade want to do one site, or if you are middle school science and you want to do your very own site. Also, you could do it by departments. I think that would work as well. But anyway, whatever you decide, that's going to be your pages that you're going to link to this first one, that are going to be able to be clicked on and sent to the other pages. So I'm going to go over here to my menu bar on the side, and I'm going to click pages. And so since this mock site that we're building is for a third grade team, I'm going to put the teachers' names in here so that they can be linked to the homepage. And so we have some pretty interesting teachers. We're going to have a Mr. Roldall, and that's going to be the first page that I add on. And you can see when I click done, it's going to pop up here, okay, as a new page. I'm going to go down and click another new page, and we're going to have Mr. Dr. Seuss teaching one of our third grade classes. And if I add another one, let's do Mrs. Beverly Cleary, one of my favorites. All right, so I have these 3 teachers that they're each going to have their own page. Now, if I want them, and you can see here, automatically Google Sites puts the different pages up here so that I don't even have to click to add the buttons to link the pages. They're already there for us. Now that I've added the teacher pages and shared rights with them so that they can design their own, I'm going to customize this home page. So the first thing that I want to do to make it visually appealing is to change that picture behind. So this time, what I want to do, you can select an image. I'm going to show you that option. So it has a stock gallery that you can choose some solid colors, polka dots, standard pictures. You can also search for a photo. I will tell you that often I like to go out and pull up a different tab and do a Google search for an image, and then copy it or save it to my computer. I seem to get better results for what I'm looking for when I do it in a separate tab and not in the search engine and embedded in here. You can also use any albums that you have already on your computer or photos from your Google Drive. So what I've done is actually opened up a tab and searched for some images that I was interested in, and then I saved them to my computer. So when I change the image, I'm going to choose to upload from what I have saved to my computer. And I'm going to use as the background a children's bookshelf. So I can have books behind there. And now what I want to do is I also want to put a little picture of each teacher at the bottom, just a different link, a different way for the student to find us. If you can see here, I didn't change the color of the font. It does it automatically for you for what is best readability. So it didn't like the white on that picture. Thought it was too hard to read, so it automatically changed it to black. Okay, there's not a lot of formatting that you can do there, but that is pretty neat that it'll do it automatically. So what I'm going to do is go back over to our side menu and going to click Insert. And there's a couple different ways that you can do this. You can just go to Insert Image and pick the images that you want and set them there. They also have some different layouts that you can use. If you want to put a picture with a description beside it, you can just click and it'll add the box for that. Here's 2 pictures, a bigger picture and 2 smaller pictures, and so on. I'm going to just simply add in my images. And again, you can use select and do the stock photos, the Google search, get them from your drive or so on. But I have put some photos on here that I have saved. So I'm going to use the image button. And I'm going to put this picture. I'm going to add and upload another image of Dr. Seuss. And then I'm going to do the same for Beverly Cleary. All right, so now I have the 3 photos that are here, but I don't like how they're underneath one another. So I can click to move, and it kind of helps you center them. I'm also going to move Beverly up here if it'll let me. Let's see. Come on up. Sometimes we have to shrink them a little to allow space. Let's see. There we go. All right, and so once you get them up here on the same line, you can stretch them back out so that they are readable. All right, so here's my 3 buttons that I'm going to use them as buttons, even though they're images. I want students to be able to click directly on these photos and to take them to their respective pages. So in order to do that, when you click on an image, it gives you some options. You can crop an image, uncrop the image, link the image, or you can just trash the image, okay? You can also put a caption, which I like to do sometimes, is to add a caption to the bottom. Click here to visit Beverly's page or site, okay? So there's my caption that goes with the picture. But I'm going to go back and click on the picture once more and click the link. And when I do that, the first thing that it allows me to do is to link it directly to one of the pages that I've created here. And so obviously I want Beverly Cleary's picture to be linked to her page. So I'm going to click this. And so it's going to then click apply. And so now when the students are clicking on her picture, it's going to take her directly to her page. Okay, so I can do the same for him. Click on the picture, click link. I want it to go to Dr. Seuss's page. Click apply, and now that one's linked. Same thing with rolled. Insert, apply, and now they're all linked. So far, we have our heading. We have built our extra pages on that we can see across the top here, or by clicking on pages to the side here. We also have 3 buttons that are linked to each one of their pages. Now, you can also go over to the side here and you can click section background. You can change the background here, you can make it look a little different. You can, once again, put your own picture behind it if you want to upload. This time I'm going to use a stock photo by selecting the image. And I think I want to do something a little fun, so I'm going to put these polka dots. And so there you go. So now I've got two sections of this home page here. Now that we have our home page situated, I'm going to show you what it would look like for a teacher to then edit their own. So I'm going to Dr. Seuss, his webpage, and I'm going to first change the image background here of his header. So I'm going to upload because I've already searched and found a photo that I like and have saved it. I'm going to put that background that I've chosen in there. And so it's adjusting for readability. You can see down here. And so here is my header now. Okay. So as a teacher, I would want to put some buttons, some things in that would be easy for my students to click and get to where they need to go. So the first thing that I've done is thought about what kind of sites do I want them to be able to access easily. And since younger kids are very visual, most of them can see the logo of the site that I want them to go to, and they know that that's what it is based on the logo. So I went through and did a Google search for some of the logos that the students would be able to recognize rather easily. So what I'm going to do is insert an image, and it's one of those images of the logos that I have saved. And the first one is the Google Classroom image, because I want them to easily get to my access to my Google Classroom. I'm going to put this button in here for them to click on. Now, in order for it to work like a button, it's going to have to be linked. So again, I can click this link button here, and I can put classroom.google.com and apply it, and it's going to get them to my classroom. Okay. All right. The next thing that I want them to be able to access rather easily is Google Meet. And I know they can now access that pretty easily through Google Classroom, but sometimes for some of my students, it's just easier to have that separate button here. And again, I'm going to play with it, adjust it. Sometimes it's a little slow and tricky to get it just like you want it, but eventually it will get up there where you need it to go. Okay. So again, I'm going to link it, and I'm going to link it to me.google.com, and it's going to be able to go right there for the student. Another place that I want them to go to is Epic Reading. If you do not have an Epic Reading account, it's free. It's now free at home due to COVID. So I suggest that you get one. Tons of books, tons of books that they can listen to the audio of, and tons of books that they can also that it will read aloud to them. So such a great resource. So I'm going to link this button to Epic login page for my students. So you can play with the buttons. You can put as many of these links that you want to put on there. It's real simple to do a Google search for these, to put them in here, and then just to link them to where you want them to go. So when the student gets on here, all he or she has to do is click, and it will take them right where they want to go. Another thing that I think Dr. Seuss might want on his web page is for him to embed. I'm going to click this embed button on the side, and I'm going to do Seussville, because I think that would be a website that he would want to go. And as you see, as you put the URL in, it'll show you kind of what it looks like, and then you can click insert. And there's that it can click and go straight there too. So you can also do an embed the URL for the Epic and Google Meet if you'd rather do that, then link them that like I have. Okay, it just makes the little you can actually see the site a little bit more clearly. So that's kind of two options. Again, for each section, you can change the background. You can do a stock image or do an image that you've chosen yourself. I'm going to do a simple blue here, I believe, in the middle, so you can see those buttons better. And then down here for this one, I'm going to, let's see, change it to, let's do green. All right, so this is what, it looks like. And obviously you can design it however you would want it to look. You can make it look however you want, really. There's tons of things you can do. I'm going to go back to the homepage now because I want to show you, if you click on the settings button, there's also some different things that you can do. The navigation of your site, if you don't like the buttons across the top, then you can come over here and change it to a side view. So let's look at what that looks like a little bit differently. So you can see it's here now instead of having the buttons across the top, and they would click here and it's going to pop up and show them the three different sites. So that's just another way that you can do it. There's also settings for if you want what color you want, if you want a bar to be black across the top, if you want it to be white across the top, or if you want it to be transparent, which is the way I had it to begin with. There's some different ways that you can make announcements. If you have, like, towards the end of NTI, we would put a banner across the top that said, listen, your new NTI work is posted below. Please make sure you complete it by this date. So you can actually add a banner on there. You can change the banner color, and then all you have to do is enter your message that you want it to say. So there's some different ways that you can go about doing that. Let me show you some other things that you can insert over here. You can insert collapsible text. You can do a table of contents. On my classroom site, I did an image carousel of my kids and their books. So the parents could click through and see some of the classroom photos that I had taken. A button, a divider, these things, the divider just makes sure your site look more neat. You can actually put a YouTube video right in. The calendar is really cool, especially for upper elementary and middle and high, because you can use your calendar that you use in Google Classroom. And so you can actually make a separate web page or page on here that's calendar. And then when you put that in there, the students, it'll show like the monthly view, and it'll show what assignments that they have on what days. And so they can actually click, you can make it so that it links straight back into your Google Classroom so that they can go, oh, well, today is Tuesday and this is what I have. And they can click the assignment and it'll take them back to Google Classroom where they can get to the assignment. So that's a real neat thing for older students. You can put a map. You can also insert slides, sheets, forms, charts in here as well. Okay. So there's so many ways that you can customize, make it your own, put your own pictures in. And the last thing that I want to share with you is this preview button here. When you click the preview button, it shows you down at the bottom here what your page is going to look like on a computer, what it will look like on a tablet for those students, and also what it's going to look like on a phone. So I like that feature because sometimes you have to play with your spacing and the ways that you have the things on the site to make sure it looks good, no matter if a kid's using the computer or a tablet or a cell phone. So I really do like that view. To get out of it, you just click the X and it'll take you back. When you are finished and your website is ready to be put out there for anyone to see it, you want to click the Publish button. And as you can see, down right underneath the box, it's going to show you, and this is your web address. It's going to be sites.google.com /greenup.kyschools.us. And then whatever you put after the slash is kind of what makes your site address unique. So it usually gives a suggestion. It's usually the name of your site, but you can change it to be whatever you want it to be there on the end. If I wanted it to be pickle, it can be pickle 30, whatever you want it to be, but it should be simple and not complex, so that other people will be able to access it easily. Also, something you want to think about, since if there's 4 third grade teams across the district, you might not want to put just third grade. You might want to put MES third or AES third or whatever, so that they're easy. It's not like conflicting and everybody's trying to use the same web address. It won't let you if somebody's already done it, but it's just something to think about so that it could be easily accessed. All right. Well, I think that giving you all the features that Google Site has. One more thing is, when you click the share button and you add your teachers and the other people that you want to have access to edit your site, just know that they can go on and change their site whenever they want. But it doesn't change in the way that your students see it, your parents see it, until you hit publish. And usually the owner, whoever creates the site, is the one that would do that. And so what we would do is, if I would try to, there at the beginning, especially, to republish or update our publish button at least by the end of every day when we were first getting it up and at it. That way, when my colleagues would add or change their site, when I would hit publish, it would show their new information that they've added. So when you go in and edit your site, you've got to click publish and save, and it'll show you, this is what it used to look like, and these are the new changes that you've made, and do you want to publish it? And you've got to click publish again every time you make changes, in order for them to see your changes that you've made. All right, well, thanks for listening today. I hope that this inspires you to go and create your own Google site. It's super easy. Just play with the buttons and you will probably figure out a lot more than I have. If you need any help, please feel free to email me, or that's my cell phone. You can text me or call me, and I would be more than happy to help you out.